Did
Okay, here we go.
well,
We're just gonna jump right into it.
Yeah, I was thinking about you today and how much you love ice cream, and I mean, you were born. I mean, when I was pregnant with you, every night Dad and I made chocolate shakes, and we stirred it with the fork. Remember
Yeah.
how we used to do that? And they were really thick, and I had one every night. So it's like, and when you were little,
Explains a lot.
Huh?
That explains a lot.
Yeah. And when you were, little, Dr. Rexinger put you on milk, not anything else, no formula, nothing. And then you started rice cereal and that kind of stuff. So I would imagine you started really young having a little bit of chocolate shake too. But anyway.
Well, I still do that every night.
Do you see? You have to. It's part of your...
I feel like I can't go to
part of your
sleep. Like I
DNA.
can't end the day without ice cream.
I totally get that. Do you make a shake out of it, or?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you see the thing Christy got on her birthday?
No.
Oh, I don't know which text it was in, but they gave her a big half-gallon of Tillamook chocolate ice cream.
That's cool.
And put 51 candle on it.
That's fun.
So she was happy.
That's her favorite cake.
I know.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a picture I have of her when she turned 8. We were at Aunt Nell's house in Idaho, and it was her birthday, and my aunt or someone made her a cake, or I did. Anyway, it's almost exactly the same picture, but she's almost 50 years older. Yeah. Anyway,
That's
okay.
Cool. So last week we talked about your kids.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do more about that.
Okay, so do you have anything that you remembered, or?
Well, yeah. I mean,
okay.
I was mainly thinking about you because
I'm your favorite.
Well, yeah.
Right.
And you're my what do you call that? Talking to me about it. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, geez, I've passed over your whole life.
Well, it's not about us. I mean, it's about you.
No, but it's what I remember and what I loved. But one of the things I loved about that you did was, I'm not sure if you were in 2nd grade or 3rd grade, they had a thing, you got an award if you didn't miss any class, any school days. And you went that whole year without missing a day. You were determined to get that little piece of paper. I love that. I didn't really think you could do it because that's a lot of days. But I don't think you ever got sick either. If you did, you went to school anyway. So. And
then fast forward to my senior year, I missed the exact amount of days that I couldn't still graduate.
That is true. All of you guys did that.
Yeah.
Everybody missed exactly what they could.
15. That's what it was.
That's right. Oh my gosh. And then I was always stressed that something would happen and you'd get really sick. And then nobody would, you wouldn't pass.
Yeah.
I remember that was couldn't wait till y'all graduated. It was kind of stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But, let's see, there was something else. Oh, well, then during your junior high and into high school, you were into construction with your dad. We have a picture of you and I think Nolan, Tom, sleep in the van. You were on break or something, but you guys were working on something for Dad, some project.
Yep.
But then you also you did your Eagle project, and so the only thing I can't remember, and I forgot to ask Dad, was it a fence or did you build the?
It was a fence.
Okay. Someone else built a bench, and I think that was John Norton, but I don't know. Okay, you built a really cool fence. Is it still there? Do you ever go up there?
No, it's still there though.
It's
on a horse trail, yeah.
Wow, that was pretty neat, and I think you overlooked the ocean. So you did that, and you got your Eagle, and you guys did a lot of high adventures. I don't exactly know. I just know you were gone for like a whole week at a time. You really seem to like that. And let's see, what was the other thing? Eagle Scout. Well, then you graduated from high school and you went on your mission to Buenos Aires, which was cool. You were excited. I have neat pictures of us taking you to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote you every week because you told me to.
Even though I didn't write you every week.
That's okay. You knew you had to tell me or I wouldn't probably write. Poor Ryan, I remember when he came home from his mission. You know, he lived with us a lot and hung out, but he said, you never wrote me once. I felt so bad. It was more of an insecurity than I thought about him every day, prayed for him, but I never wrote him. That made me feel bad. Anyway. Okay.
What about like Christy or AJ or Sarah? Anything else come to mind?
Yeah, I was thinking about Sarah had something. Now, see, I'm gonna be losing it all. Oh, but one more thing about with you is the first time I met Amber. She came to our. I'm gonna cry again.
That's okay.
It's so stupid.
It's not stupid.
Then she knocked on my door and she was so cute. She had all these balloons and she wanted to go up to your room and she popped. I don't remember if she popped the balloons. But anyway, you had to make she wrote a note inviting you to the St. Hawkins dance. And that was fun. Okay, I'm going to cry a lot.
That's okay. I have unlimited storage on my phone, so.
Oh boy. Yeah, there was something about. I'll have to go back. I was kind of focused on you because you were coming over, but.
And I'm your favorite, we know.
Yeah, of course. Oh, okay. Let's move on.
Okay. So, let's talk about your grandkids.
Oh boy, here we go.
So, Maddie's your first grandkid, right?
Yep.
So what was it like? What did it feel like to become a grandma?
It was amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, and we were there in the room. Got to see almost the whole thing. Mm-hmm. That doctor was like, come on in. You know, he was really into the whole family thing. And Chrissy didn't seem to care, and neither did Matt. But we all left the room while she had her, but then we all were right back in there, and my mom and dad were there, and Margina and Charlie and Ryan, because he got his mission call at that time. Korea, right?
Yep.
And it was just exciting. It almost felt like when you have your first baby, kind of surreal. That another generation. And Maddie looked so much like Christy that it was, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember how old you were?
I think I was 40, maybe no more than 45.
45, wow.
Yeah, because I think I was 40 when she got married, so I might have been younger than 45. Yeah, and we had, I thought you were with us. We drove all night in the van, and we went into the hospital at like 2 in the morning, but she wasn't ready. So then we went to her apartment and stayed, and then we went up around 2 o'clock, and she was born around 2:30. So that was exciting.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart. And my mom, well, Sarah came up for one summer and watched Maddie while Christy finished school. And then my mom came up and my dad. And they came home one weekend and surprised us and had Christy and Maddie with them.
Oh, that's fun.
She put Maddie on the doorstep and rang the doorbell. We opened the door and there was little Maddie. So fun.
Probably made your day.
It did. It was. I remember Grandpa picking her up. She just was so little. She was like a little peanut. And now she's going to have a baby soon. Wow.
Yep.
Anyway, it was
so
great.
Tell me a memory you have of Maddie.
Oh, wow. You know, she was just really sweet. But there was one memory I was thinking about. I'm going to cry. I was staying at Christie's, and I think I might have been up there when Isabel, I don't know if it was when Izzy was born or just I was up there. And we, it was the house by the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that round table, we were all sitting around having dinner. Oh, poor girl. This is going to be horrible today, I can't stop. Anyway, Christy was finishing up dinner, and Maddie and me, and I think Hannah was there, and maybe Sarah and AJ. But we were sitting around the table, and we started singing that song about the iron rod is the word of God or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sang that, and then when Christy was done, she asked Maddie to say the prayer. It was such a sweet prayer. I still think about it. She gets really intense, and she just blessed us that thankful for the iron rod and prayed that it would never be broken. It was such a sweet prayer. Anyway, I just remember how intense it was. I looked up and Christy was crying. I was crying, and it was just so heartfelt, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she was darling.
That's a great one. I haven't heard that.
Huh?
That's good. I haven't heard that story.
Yeah. I loved it.
Okay, so then you've got Hannah.
Yeah.
Tell me a memory of Hannah.
Cute little Hannah. I tell you, she reminds me a lot of Ren. Hannah had a lot of spunk, and when I came to stay at Christie's so that Christy could go have Izzy, I was only there one day, and I don't think Hannah, she hadn't seen me for a while, and so Maddie went home with you at Christie's, or Marva, and I stayed at their house with Hannah. And I remember I was up late reading in my bed, and I heard something, and Hannah had woken up, and I called her to come and lay by me. She wasn't going to have anything to do with me. So she marched down the hall and climbed down the stairs and sat like on the bottom step. And I was afraid to get too close because I didn't want her to get upset. So I sat on the top of the stairs and just talked to her and asked her if she wanted to come and lay by Netty. And no, she was not going to. And so I said, okay, I'm going to go sit in my bed, and if you want to come and lay with me, I'm going to be in there. So anyway, a little bit later, I heard her march up the stairs, and she looked at me as she walked into her bedroom, but she just went to bed. She didn't want anything to do with me, but I just loved her little spunk. It was so cute. That was kind of, then we were friends after that.
Yeah.
She knew me, but anyway, I think that, I always remember that. That was kind of cute. She was sweet. But one thing about Hannah that I remember when she was really little, like a baby, she used to growl all the time. So I don't know what that says. Anyway, cuties.
Yep. What about Izzer?
I just, you know what? She was kind of quiet compared to the other girls, and I can just remember her sitting on the floor, and she had this bald head, and she would just sit there, and she didn't really want anybody to pick her up, or just wanted to kind of be left alone. But I mean, she was sweet. And then as she got older, and they'd come down, I think we lived in Watermark, we would take her shopping, and she already knew her style. You know, you couldn't talk her into anything that was girly, or, you know, she always wanted everything big and long. Anyway, she just knew exactly what she wanted. She was very good that way. Very cute. I think that's, you know.
About Miss Ruby.
Miss Ruby, oh my gosh. I have a picture of her and me. We're sitting on the stairs. Is that Dad? We're sitting on the stairs going down the basement in Christy's house. And I think really, I'd been there the whole time, and she hadn't been there very long, but she was really cute with me, and she wasn't afraid of me, but I was afraid I was going to lose her. Is that Dan?
JJ.
So she was so sweet, and I just remember when we first saw her, she let Grandpa hold her, and she was sound asleep, and she just had this little cute round face and this hair that just stuck out all over the place.
Yep.
She was darling. It was fun to get to know her. And she cried because, I mean, think about it, we were all weird looking.
Yeah.
Compared to what she was used to, and we spoke a weird language.
We're weird looking anyways.
Yeah. And we spoke a different language.
Yeah.
So. But
Can you imagine?
No. But now she's got blonde hair, and she's, you know, into it.
Yep. That was a pretty special day when they all got sealed, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was wonderful. Everybody was there. And I remember President Griffith was the sealer. And, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Cried a lot that day. I remember Izzy coming in, and she was so little and cute, and she was so quiet, and just taking it all in, and well, everybody was. Because I think nobody had been through the temple yet. And everybody was just kind of looking at what everybody was wearing, and anyway, it was a great day.
What about Jake? Tell me some memories you have of Jake.
Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was there, and that night, Dad and Christy flew out to New York to spend the week in New York that he was born. And, but it had been so long since we had a grandchild, and I think we knew it was going to be, he was a boy, but I'm not sure. But so I remember we just stood by the door there, and I just waited to hear him cry. I was so nervous. And so he finally started crying, and I peeked open the door, and they were washing him right there by the door.
Mm-hmm.
And he had all this kinky, curly hair around the back of his head. And he was so cute. Oh my gosh. But yeah, he had cute hair, curly. And then we got to all hold him. And then Dad and Christy left. Maddie went with him too. And then I stayed with Sarah for, I think AJ was there too. We stayed for at least a week, maybe longer. And she lived in an apartment in Orem, I think. And he wouldn't ever go to sleep unless he was in the walk carrier.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he didn't like to lay in the bed, or he liked that closed-in feeling. kind of fun. But he was such a cute kid.
What about Luke?
Luke was born in Texas, and I got to be there a whole month.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was there at least a week before he was born, maybe a week and a half. And I got to see him be born, so that was exciting. He was my first grandchild to see born. And so the doctor was so cool. He was this big Jewish dude with a beard. I really liked him. And he encouraged me to come over and be by Sarah so I could watch Luke come out. And anyway, he was so cute. And so then I watched, he was born, and then I stayed with Jakey 2 days, and then Chris and Danny came home, Sarah and Danny came home, and I got to rock him and hold him on my chest. That was really the only way. He was kind of heavy, and I was already having trouble holding them, so I put him on my chest and just rocked him, and he looked like the Peanut character, Charlie Brown. He had no hair. It was just had this big round head.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was darling. And then after almost a week, you guys came up. I think he was a week old when you all came. That was so fun. It was hot, but we all had such a good time. And I think it helped Sarah because after that, she got that bad. She was allergic to something. And I had to go back up after a while, but anyway, he was such a cutie. We loved it.
What about Grant Man?
Grant was a totally different story. You know, he came early, and he was born in Irvine. Anyway, and so our phone rang around 4 in the morning, and it was Danny saying, I picked up the phone, and Danny said, well, he just was born. And I said, oh, shut up. I thought he was teasing me, because he does. And he said, no, really, he's born. We barely made it to the hospital in time. So I wasn't feeling that good then, but I think I'd had surgery. But Dad went up and got to hold him, and he was just this little teeny guy, so cute. And then I got to go up the next day and see him, and I think they came and lived. I think they lived with us for a little bit after he was born, so that was exciting. I loved it. He's a cutie.
Tell me a memory you have of Ben.
Oh man, I loved that. You know, well, we were all at that Irvine hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we were all in that room. Amber's parents were there, and Mom and I don't think my mom and dad were, but Grandpa was there, and Amber's sisters were there. And she had him kind of fast, at least for people, but for Amber, you know, she probably had to struggle a little bit. But he was so cute, and I remember when they got him all cleaned up, we all got to go back in, and he had the cutest little face, and his mouth was kind of swollen a little bit from birth, and he was so darling. And then you guys called me the next day and invited me to come and hold him and sit. With you in the room. And that was so nice. I got to just hold him and hug him, and he was so little. He was our first grandson after all the girls.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then you guys lived with us for several months, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how long you were there. 6 months?
We were there maybe like 9 months or a year.
Maybe. And that was, so I got to know him really well. I felt bad because I remember he would follow me around all over the place, and Karen said, why does he like you so much? And I said, Karen, he lives in my house. He thinks I'm his other mom. She said, oh, that's right. That made her feel better. I felt bad. But yeah, he was so cute. Always looking for something to do, and it was nice to have him there.
What about Will?
Okay, Will. You guys didn't live with us, right? When
Mhm.
Will.
We moved to Falling Star. We were just down the
So I
street.
thought, okay. I remember the night he was born, it was like in the middle of the night. Floyd came and got me, and because I was watching Ben. I don't know who stayed with Ben, but anyway, maybe Jackie. And so I went with Floyd up to the hospital. And Will, I think, was just born. Or we waited a little bit for him to be born. And he was such a Waldron. He looked just like Floyd, I thought. So cute. And really, we all got to be there right at the right time, because he had just been born, or was being born. Amber had her kids so fast. Kind of nice. So, and I just remember he was really sweet, and he didn't like loud noises. I remember Grandpa scared him once because he growled like a bear.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Will just flipped, but he was real sweet.
Tell me some memories you have of Karen.
She was another Waldron, I thought. She looked just like Jackie, and she was so cute. But they were all just so darling, so soft, and just had sweet temperaments. And did you guys still live in that same place?
Yeah.
That's right. That's the one on the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't mean end, but anyway. Yeah, I just remember she was so sweet, and to hold her, she just was so lovable. It was just, she was like a doll. She looked like a doll, especially when Amber would put a bonnet on her, when she, I think it's when she got less, she had on a white hat, like a little bonnet, and a white dress, and really, she looked just like a doll. She was so cute. She didn't move a lot or talk a lot for a while, but she's still kind of quiet that way.
Mm-hmm. What about Mary?
I got to see Mary be born, so that was exciting. And gosh, Amber had her so fast. It was like she just kind of went, made a noise, and she was out. And I remember the nurse, I don't even think the doctor was there yet. Was he?
Yeah,
Maybe,
I think so.
or he had just gotten there, I can't remember, but she was just so cute. And she looked different than the other kids, more blonde, and it just was so exciting to be there with her and to hold her right away. It was, I think, I have all the pictures. I thought maybe I'd go through them and put their names. Anyway, she's darling. It's hard to imagine she's our youngest. Well, no, I guess Gran is, but still.
Yeah. So then, what was you talked a little bit about what it was like becoming a grandma. What was it like becoming a great grandma?
Crazy. I don't even know if I'm there yet. It was, Scarlett and Ren remind me so much of Maddie and Hannah that I have to remind myself that it's another generation.
Mm-hmm.
But Dad gave me that blessing when I lived in Watermark. Was before I had I think it was right before I was going to have my head done, and I was worried, and I was promised that I would live to see my great-grandchildren. And would know them and they would know me. So it always felt so good when Maddie got pregnant so fast and had another one. I thought, well, that was happening, and now look, she's having another one.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful because, it's pretty amazing.
It's really amazing.
Most people my age barely have grandchildren.
Yeah.
So that I have both is pretty awesome. And I love them. They're darling.
Tell me a memory you have of Scarlett.
Oh, wow. Mainly when Maddie and came and stayed with us with Braden. They were going with his family somewhere. And I got to just sit on the couch because I was having trouble holding them, but I got to hold her and she was so sweet. And she reminded me so much of Chris too. And Maddie. But recently, the last time they came to visit, is when our magic bunny showed up in our backyard. I call it the magic bunny.
Yeah.
Because literally he came the day they showed up and he left the day they left, and I never saw him again. And the girls loved him so much, and he was bigger, or as big as Ren. And they were so cute. They just loved him. She was like her mom, how she loves pets, and she was so sweet. The same with Ren. Just sweetest girls. I love them.
Yeah, they're cute.
Pretty amazing. Can't wait to see the little boy.
Yep. So that's quite a family you've got there.
I know, it's crazy. How many is that?
Grandkids? Let's see, what is it, 11?
11.
8, yeah, 11.
And 12, 13 if you add Tony and Berkeley. And then 2 great-grandkids. Is that right?
That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
I know it is. I feel really blessed.
So anything else that comes to mind with regards to your grandkids or your great-grandkids?
Oh, well, I'm sure.
Stories, memories?
I'll be thinking a lot of that
Okay.
when you leave, especially the grandkids. We did so much, everybody, except for Christy's family, everybody was here, and it'll probably be the same thing.
Yeah, no, I remember a lot of hikes in the swamp when
Yeah.
you guys were living in
That
Watermark.
was so fun. Kids love
and
that.
then all of us being together in St. George all those years.
Yeah, that was.
I remember, like, I'm seeing that family picture that we took outside.
Yeah, gosh. Kathy and David were there taking the pictures. That was Thanksgiving. Yeah, I had just had my surgery and I had a hole in the back of my head, but couldn't tell. Yeah, the kids just loved that place. Everybody did. It's been hard to not go and have the kids be able to go, you guys. But.
And then I always remember, getting together up at Christy's house too, up in Alpine.
Oh. Yeah, we did that a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I tried to get up there every 3 months, and Margene, Carrie was up there, so she would sometimes, mostly, she would drive, and we'd just have a road trip, which we loved. And Charlie was so good just to let her go, and he had all those kids, and because I don't think we ever brought any of her kids, or we might have brought AJ a couple of times, but you were up there then at one point, living with Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was neat, because then you were right there, and you worked for Magaby's and got to have good food. Yeah, we did some fun things. And mostly it went from, California to Utah when we went places, but except when you guys were younger, we did other things, but That's all AJ remembers
Yeah.
is Utah, which was good. Can you think of anything?
Oh, I think that's good.
Okay. Wow. Every year a new grandkid was born, and that was so exciting. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I loved having you guys, and then y'all grew up. And then but it was nice when you started having children and could share in that. It was anyway. See, I can't talk about it. It was amazing. I love our family. Everybody has been so wonderful. So happy to be a mom and grandma, great grandma, and a wife. But it was just really compared. I mean, if you think about the stuff that we've been through, we could have done it without the gospel and each other. I think we love each other. And I see it now when we're all together. I love that we all love to be together. That's important. Anyway, I'll finish that later.
Oh, and a lot of that is because of you
Well, I don't know about
and Dad
that.
and your guys' example.
I
And
hope
sort
so.
of the example you guys set for us.
Well, we loved you guys so much, and just can't imagine not having, any of you, or just even one less. I can't imagine. I think our family was totally, Heavenly Father blessed us, so amazing. Oh. And I feel really lucky, I do. And I think also part of the wonderful family that we have is our spouses, your spouses. You all had such nice spouses, and they all blended in so well. And that's, that was important.
Yeah. I love how you can, even though you've had your trials and physically life has been hard and painful for you, you still just focus on the blessings and the positive and the good.
I try. That's
even as you sit here in a chair.
Yeah. But that's what's important. Nothing else matters, really. I see that now. I mean, even when I was kind of an airhead about things and not very active, and I think I had a real strong sense of who I was and where I came from. And really just how important our children were and our family. And I don't even know that I knew that until it became, something where I had to make decisions, and there were none. I mean, I just knew what had to be done. But, yeah. We had a great family. I loved you kids. Sometimes people would ask me, how do you get along with your kids? And mostly I just said, we get along fine. I don't remember ever, I'm sure we had moments, but I don't remember us ever being in like battles where we weren't speaking to each other, and maybe we were, but those don't even register on me anymore. And kind of feel that way about even the grandkids. So fun. Anyway, I would have probably had a whole bunch of kids if I could have not been a cuckoo mom, but I think 4 was my limit.
Yep.
It was great. Thanks.